Well, it's Wednesday, and guess what time it is? That's right, it's time for the distribution announcements for Group C. Hello, my friends, this is Legend. So Group C with YieldMax announced their distributions today, and we're going to go through those and quickly take a look at the market. All right, so here is the list of the Group C along with the weekly pairs. And in Group C, we have ABNY, AMD, Coney, CVNY, DRAY, FIAT, HUI, MSFO, NEFLI, PYPY, and then we have the weekly pairs with CHPY, GPTY, LFGY, QDTY, RDTY, SDTY, ULTY, YMAG, and YMAX. So let's just go ahead and go straight over to the announcement sheet and let's see what we're going to get paid out. All right, so here we are on the announcement sheet, and you can see that this is for August the 20th with Group C of the YieldMax funds. And we'll just start right off with the weekly payers right here. And we have the first one with CHPY with 39 cents, GPTY 30 cents, LFGY 41 cents, still sticking around that 60 some percent for LFGY. QDTY with 19 cents, RDTY with 39 cents, and SDTY with 16 cents. And then we have our ULTY, which I now own, and we did squeeze out that 10 cents again this week. Glad to see that. And that's a 90% distribution rate. I'm happy that we got our 10 cents for this week. YMAG with 14 cents, and that's a 50% distribution rate. And YMAX with 16 cents at a 65% distribution rate. Glad to see that we are still earning some distributions on the weeklies, right? I'm happy for it. So let's just go ahead and slide right over and let's check out the ones that pay every 4 weeks, which is Group C. All right, so we'll start right here with ABNY with 29 cents, AMD at 54 cents, and that's an 82% distribution rate. Pretty nice. I did end up picking up an additional 20 shares on AMDY the other day, so that's an extra little bit in my pocket on the distribution. Coney with 34 cents, that's a 63% distribution. CVNY, $2.55 at an 80% distribution. A very nice distribution payout, right? DRAY, which uses DraftKings as the underline, and it pays out $2.19. Pretty nice. FIAT with 26 cents, and that's a 101% distribution rate. Now that's the short on Coinbase, right? And since everything's kind of been dropping, that's probably why you see the distribution rate a bit higher, right? And that's just my opinion on that. Then we got HUI at $3.85, and that's a 73% distribution rate. And yes, that is around about half of what it was the last time. I think the last time it was around $6 and something, right? But at a 73% distribution rate, that's still pretty good. MSFO with 31 cents, NEFLI with 46 cents, and PYPY with 34 cents. So in Group C for myself, I own Coney, so I'll get 34 cents off of that one. I own AMDY, which will pay me 54 cents. And in the weeklies, I own YMAX, so that'll be 16 cents. And I have ULTY to pay me my first distribution of 10 cents at that 90% distribution rate. Very nice. So I know some of you are probably not too happy with some of these, but with the market the way it's been, I'm happy. I'm just glad that we are still getting 10 cents with ULTY and YMAX. We're still around that 65% distribution is a little low, but I'll take it, right? So let's just go ahead and we'll slide over to the Webull chart and just kind of check out where things are setting. All right, so just to do a quick little update here, I'm showing MSTY currently. And as you can see in MSTY, it ended up dropping down as low as $16.10 today. But it did recover and ended up closing at $16.99. So therefore, it was a 37-cent move up from yesterday's close, which is about a 2.23% up on MSTY. Now, I did not get to actually see MSTY drop to $16.10, or else I probably would have purchased again, right? But you can't catch them all, right? So as you can see, I still have that call at $25 for September the 19th. I still have that $19 put for September 19th. And I'll probably be looking to roll this one. I just haven't yet. But I was glad to see a little bit of green in MSTY, right? We've seen a lot of red just dropping. And we had that huge fall yesterday. So I was glad to see it recover a little, right? Not much, but a little. But hey, I will take it because sometimes you just have to take little steps, right? But let's check out MSTR while we're here. And you can see MSTR ended up dropping as low as $325.56. And we closed at $344.37. So we were up 2.32% at a $7.80 move up from yesterday's close, right? The close on yesterday being at the bottom of that red candle right there where I'm showing on my cursor. And then the close for the day being right here, right? So it did move up for the day. Now it was rough, right? It dropped all the way to $325.56, but ended up closing higher than yesterday's close. And again, I'll take the little wins. But let's just quickly take a look at Bitcoin as well. And let's see where it's setting. And here we go with Bitcoin. Like we said before, we had that 114.7 support line, and yesterday we were running through it. So we are still keeping this as a support line. Then today, we still touched that line, right? Because it went as high as 114.8. So we still touched it, and it's a green candle. So that is not a confirmation candle to the downside. But the fact that it did come up and hit that line and then came back down is not a great sign, right? We need it to go ahead and break through and get back above it and close above this support line, right? That's what we need. We do not need it to hang down here and then open and close in this area, because then our 114.7 will then be a new resistance line, as previous support lines become your new resistance lines, right? And as you can see, this MACD is still widening out. It is still dropping. The momentum bars are still increasing. So all of this is a negative sign. And of course, it is reflective in the candles themselves, right? But like I said, we did get a little bit of an upside, a little bit of a movement above from where we closed yesterday. And that's what I mean by I'll take the little wins, right? Now, I know this hasn't closed yet for the day for Bitcoin, but it's green and I'll take it, right? Now, let's just talk about my little day trade that I was doing yesterday. And I had that 140 put, right? That I opened yesterday, and it got assigned yesterday, right? At that 640, because the price was under 640. Then today, wow, I mean, it dropped, right? We got as low as 632.95. So ouch, right? Now it did try to come back up, and the first part of the morning, I almost went ahead and sold that call. And I'll show you at the 5-minute chart right here. And here we are on the 5-minute chart. And you can see when it first came out, it actually started moving up. And it got as high as 639.66 right here. And I almost sold that call, and I was going to sell it for around 641, right? Or 642, something in that area, because I have those shares, those 100 shares at 640. And I almost did it, but I thought if it gets back up to 640, then I will get even more premium when I sell it at that 641 or 642, right? Well, right after it got to that, it just started falling back down. And at that point, the premium started dropping, right? And then so did the price, right? And you can see it's just some nasty candles. And of course, if you had bought a put during this time, you would have just racked up, right? And it just kept on coming down. And there it is, 632.96. Crazy, right? But it then started moving back up. I never did get that call sold because I was trying to do it for the day. And after about, say, 12 o'clock, midday, you're not going to get much premium because the day is almost over. I would have actually had to do it for the next day, right? Which I could have done. But I decided instead, as this thing was dropping, I figured, why not go ahead and just sell another put on SPY, right? I know, crazy. And you can see right here, that's what I did. I sold a 632 put. And where did it go? 632.96 was the lowest. And I had a 632 put that was to expire today. Now, I earned about 80 bucks to do that. And I just let it ride on out. Because if I would have got assigned at the 632, then that would have helped lower that average. And then I could have sold a call at, say, 640, and I would have actually been in the money to sell that call for the next day. Because 100 shares at 632 and 100 shares at 640 gives me that average at 636, right? So my new average would have been 636. So I was okay if I would have got assigned that. Now, granted, I would not have been able to do another put for sure, right? Because that's a lot of money. But I would have then been able to sell a call. But as you can see, it actually closed at 638.11. Therefore, my 632 put expires worthless, right? So I get to keep the 80 bucks as premium earned, but I am not required to buy those shares because it did not get down to my buy price. So I still have those 100 shares at the 640, and I've earned the premium on both those puts. So anyway, with the price moving up, as we are around that 638 now, I'm hoping tomorrow, if we can stick around this and possibly start moving back up some, I'll be able to sell my call, earn my premium, and if it's called away, great. I'll also make any appreciation above 640, right? So that's kind of what I'm doing there on my quote day trade, right? But I just wanted to bring that up and show you a little bit of what's going on with that one. So anyway, I think I'm going to wrap it up right there. If you don't mind, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button. It'd be much appreciated. And as always, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence before you get into any stock plays. And until next time, Legend out.